Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Mubarrah. Now I want to honor the plot story about Robinson Crusoe novel by Daniel Defoe, but just chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1. Robinson Crusoe, the author of the story, tells us that he was born in 1632 in the city of York, England. His father, a German immigrant, married a woman whose name was Robinson, and his real name was Robinson Kirchner, but due to the natural corruption of language, the family now lost their name Crusoe. He was the fifth son. His oldest brother was killed in a war, and the next son simply disappeared. When Robinson Crusoe first had an urge to go to sea, his father lectured him on the importance of staying home and being content with his middle station in life. His father mentioned that the middle station had the biggest disaster and was not exposed to so many vicissitudes as the higher of lower part of mankind. After his father expressly forbade him to go to sea, and furthermore promised to do good things for him if he stayed home. For another warrior, Robinson Crusoe stayed at home, but he constantly talked of adventures upon the high sea. He tried to enlist the aid of his mother, finding out that he was not 18 years old, and if he did not like the sea, he could work diligently and make up for the time he might lost while at sea. She refused to have him even Toxie. This revealed his strong feelings to her husband. When Robinson was 19 on the 1st of September in 1615, he joined a parent and friend on a ship bound for London. Without consulting either his father or mother, almost immediately the wind began to blow, and the sea to rise in a most frightful manner. Robinson Crusoe, who had never been to sea before, saw this as a sign that he was just life, overtaken by the judgment of heaven for which and leaving of his father's house without letting anyone know. He was so frightened that he made the promise, if it would be good here to spend my life in this one voyage, if ever I got once my foot upon dry land again, I would go directly home to my father, and never set into a ship again while alive. The wind so intense, and the next morning the sea was so calm and so beautiful that the Arian forgot to boast and promised that he had met in his distress and joined the other sailor in drinking boat. As they neared a place called Yarmouth Road, the wind screamed to below and thrust the west till for 8 days. And when the winds did begin to blow, the ship immediately encountered a storm much more violent than the earlier one. Even the most experienced sailor went down on their knees praying. The storm continued with so fury that the seamen acknowledged that they had never known a worse one. When the boat sprang a leak, Robinson was ordered below to help pump the water. In some became afraid that they would not be able to save the ship, and the captain pressed several boilers of distress signal. A little ship in the finished made it up to their ship and was able to take the crew away from the sinking ship, which foundered soon after the leap. The crew finally got to shore, where Robinson Crusoe met his friend's father who owned the ship. When the captain heard Robinson Crusoe's story, he felt strongly that it was the head of Providence instructing Crusoe never to go to sea anymore. He told the young man, "You ought to take this for a plain and visible token that ought not to be a spring man." He even wondered if he had done something wrong that such a person as Robinson Crusoe should come on his ship, and he wrote Crusoe again that you will meet with nothing but disaster and disappointments if he did not go to back his father's house. Chapter 2. Robinson joined the London-bound ship on September 1st, 1651. The ship soon encountered a storm and Robinson became sick and frightened. Remembering his parents' warning, he vowed to return home if he ever made it safely to land again. The other sailors outbound, however, did not think much of the storm. The sea got calmer as the storm died down, and Robinson joined some other sailors in getting drunk on some punch. In about 6 days, Robinson said he had gone over his consent at distance, creating his boat to return home. Then the ship encountered an even worse storm. Even the experienced sailors were scared, and Robinson heard the master of the ship cry up to God for help. Robinson was terrified, and some sailors said that the ship was going to founder him. Though at the time Robinson didn't know the meaning of this word. The ship sprang some ledge, and Robinson and other sailors tried to pump water out of the ship. Robinson was so scared of the fainted. Another ship came to the aid of Robinson and rowed a boat over to rescue the sailor. After returning to shore, Robinson said that he should have gone back to Hull, but I felt pushed him to go to London against reasonable judgment. The shipmaster told Robinson not to tempt Providence and to go back to his father, or else he would meet with nothing but disaster and disappointment. Robinson travelled to London by land, debating his next course of action. He says the some evil influence made him disregard all of the warning he received. He joined a ship bound for Guinea on the coast of Africa. According to Robinson, this was his only successful voyage. The ship captain of the ship bound for Guinea taught him astronomy and math, and he became a sailor merchant, bringing back here 100 pounds of gold, which filled him with the desire to return to sea and find more wealth and desire that would be the running of him. Okay, thank you for the nice attention. Maybe that's all for maybe that's all for me. Thank you for the nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.